nothing completely like psychotic or anything like
Hi
that.
everyone. So my name is Shreya. Uh, I'm the one who reached out to all of you guys about this training session. We'll get started in a little bit. We're just waiting on a couple more people, and yeah. Just a little FYI, this meeting is camera on. I'd love to meet all of you guys and see all of you. Yeah.
Can I ask a question while we're waiting?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
How long have you been here?
I have been here now for 4 years, I think.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I have actually been here before we were even known as AI Go Learning. We were previously known as Thinkland, and then during the COVID time, we sort of rebranded and sort of expanded our uh, like organization. So yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I think we can get started. Again, this is a cameras on meeting, so it'd be really appreciated if you guys could turn them on. So just a little bit about me. As you probably just heard me say, I have been with AI Go Learning now for 4 years. Currently, I am the training vice president, so I overlook everybody who, not overlook, I just monitor everybody's training and ensure that everybody's following the training procedure, trying to see if there are any places we can improve, and just helping all of our teachers reaching their potential with us. A little bit about me outside of AI Go Learning. I love to cook. I love listening to music and watching movies. Recently, I got into working out a lot, so that's a lot of fun for me. And then just hanging out with friends and family. So I look forward to getting to know all of you as you guys become a teacher with us. But let's get started with our, presentation. The reason why you guys are all here. It should take like around an hour. I'm going to try and make it shorter, but so far, like all of my previous sessions, they've been about an hour. So just bear with me, and you guys will be out pretty soon. All right. So all of you guys, you signed up for AI Go Learning, but if you still need some like, I guess, convincing as to why you should choose AI Go Learning, it's really because we have a big message of we want we want students who are like in high school or college, we want them to be teaching younger kids. It gives them experience of how to teach because we also believe that as you teach, you grow and you learn. We also believe that it's just an easier connection for kids to make with people who are closer in their age. But this doesn't mean that we don't want like professionals and adults working with us. We absolutely love that because we think that you guys bring your own experience when you join us. Not only that, but you guys can make money. I think that's a pretty fun reason. Along with that, you can also earn volunteering hours depending on what you'd prefer. And then also, you don't have to do anything other than learn the material and teach, because we have already created the curriculum that you guys will be following for every course that we offer. We handle the Zoom, so we pay for it. We give you the Zoom accounts that you'll be using while teaching virtually, and we'll handle all of the payment, and you don't have to worry about any of that. We have a pretty strict schedule that we follow with payment that I'll get into a little bit later. So yeah, hopefully that convinces all of you. So we have a platform that we use called Thinkland. This is where we have all of our teaching material, and everything that you need to teach will be found on this website. So you guys would have received a login info after you signed up. So I definitely recommend that if you haven't already, please log into your Thinkland account and make sure that it works. If it doesn't, just send me a message real quick, and I'll work it out with you, and I'll sort of figure out what we can do. On the Thinkland platform, we have a Scratch editor. So Scratch is MIT's product where they use it to get kids into coding from a young age. So we have it, and we ask that you only use that one, because if you are to teach our Scratch plus machine learning course, it won't work on the Scratch MIT website. So yeah, please use that one, because we've also edited it according to our needs. And finally, you can communicate with parents directly through the platform. So if you're having an issue with a student, you can just reach out to the parents through the platform using our instant messaging technique. So yeah. So all of you would have used the sign up form. That's how all of you guys are here. And like I said earlier, just log into your Thinkland account, which just to make sure that it works and you have access to the Start Here classroom. The Start Here classroom, right? I'm going to say this a lot during the session, so bear with me. But the Start Here classroom is the place where you will find all of the materials and all of the steps to become a teacher. I can show you all of this real quick. Right. So once you've logged into your Thinkland account and you open up the Start Here classroom, I recommend that you go through this again on your own time, but I'll just quickly, each time, through various slides, I will be referring back to this. We have everything that you need. A lot of people get stuck up here where it says January 2022. This is from a training week we had a while ago in January, but all of the information in this is pretty accurate and up to date. So you can watch this if you'd like to, if we have fun tips and tricks, we walk through different projects with you guys. So if you want, you can go ahead and watch it. I definitely recommend you do. Then here we have the various steps that you should go through to become a teacher. So we have setting up your account, setting up a Thinkland profile, joining the Discord, which is very important. Definitely do join the Discord. I will emphasize that a little bit later. Then we have our introductory video. Just, again, go through it on your own time. We have the various courses we have. Join the classroom for the different courses, because that's where you'll find slides, you'll find projects and the lesson plans. So again, go through this on your own time. So yeah, that's the Start Here classroom. All right. So yeah, you're gonna get annoyed hearing me say Start Here. I'm just warning you now. All right. So when you join AI Go Learning, there are different paths you can choose to be a teacher or even a TA. So you first start off with your training on the Thinkland platform. Then once you've looked through all the material, you'll feel confident enough to do your evaluation. I'll go more into depth on the evaluation a little bit later. You can decide whether you want to be a TA or a teacher. To be a TA, you don't need to do your evaluation, but if you want to be a TA, I recommend you do the evaluation so that we can just put you straight to a teacher once we feel like you're ready, and like if a spot is open, so that we don't have to ask you to do your evaluation and then become a teacher. But it's up to you. You don't have to do it right away. And then from a teacher, you can go straight to an evaluator trainer. So I am an evaluator where I would, it's basically the person who does the interview. So we'll take you step by step through how to conduct those. And you'll even be asked to maybe like watch one, observe one, so that you can learn how they're conducted. But that's like, we only offer that to our teachers. So if you're interested in that, there's an incentive to be a teacher. All right. So let's get into like the courses we offer. We offer all of these courses that you see. I am terrible at counting. I think, yeah, we offer 12. My bad. So we have 12 courses for you all to teach. The highlighted, data structure and algorithms and Python plus AI. On the Start Here classroom, there is these two classrooms are on there, but you will need an enrollment key, which is only available during one of our training weeks. So we're trying to figure out how we can handle it, because there's only a certain number of evaluators we have for those courses. So we need to control how many people are actually taking part in the data structures and Python plus AI course. But everything else is open. We have a lot of evaluators for that. So do whatever you feel comfortable teaching, and I guess have fun. Again, all of the teaching materials can be found on step 3 of the Start Here page. And each course has its own training classroom. So when you click on the different links for the classrooms, you'll be asked to enroll in it. And then you can just click enroll me, and you can, just look through the materials and go step by step, and program by program for it. All right. So these are the courses again, and the ages you'll be teaching. I know it looks like they're really young kids, and they are, I won't deny it, but some of these kids are really smart. If they're really interested, they'll get a hold of it quite quickly. We've designed the curriculum so that each level of the course is approximately 16 hours each. So hopefully you won't have to worry about running out of material to teach. But if you do, we've created extensions. So we're covered for all of that. But yeah, as you can see, the ages you'll be teaching from are 5 to 15, 16. So yeah, so that is the courses. Then let's see. Okay, so these are the most popular courses that we offer. Actually, we have our number one course that is popular is Scratch, and then we have Python and Scratch plus AI. I definitely recommend that if you have any experience in either of these, or any of these really, definitely do consider training and evaluating in these courses, because you're guaranteed a class pretty quickly. You can, just really, if you're free, you can do this. I will also say that the more courses that you train and evaluate for, the more number of classes you're opening yourself to. So you're more likely to get a class faster than a lot of more people. But this doesn't mean that you should just pick up any course and then train for it, especially if you have no experience. Please don't do that, because it won't end up too well for any of us. So do the ones that you have experience in, you feel comfortable in teaching. And if they fall into any of these categories, you should do it. Definitely do it. Right. So evaluation. In the Start Here classroom, we have linked a evaluation Discord server, and the topics that will be covered in your evaluation can be found all in that Start Here classroom. If you have the Start Here classroom open on your computer, definitely do check it out. See you can see it as I'm telling you guys. I can also show you, but I also kind of don't want to switch between screens, but I can do it if you want. Let me pull it up. Ooh, hold up. Okay, so here is the step 4. We have the Discord server that you all should join. In this server, we have a bot that actually, if you like say, I want to evaluate, then it'll send you a DM through Discord and you can just set up your evaluation through that. Again, here we have our evaluation, like the lessons. The other courses, you can find it within their own classrooms. Since these are our most popular like courses, we put that on this section. So yeah, just click any of these links. You can check it out. You can see the like project that you will have to complete. All right. Let's go back. Okay. So the evaluation is conducted like a mini class. So we have, like you'll be treating your evaluator like a student. So we're pretty like good actors, we can act like an annoying 5-year-old, or we can act like a moody teenager. It's quite a skill we have acquired. But yeah, it's just one of us in the Zoom with you. So there's no like, don't be afraid to, if you mess up or anything, actually like teaching kids, it's just one of us. Majority of us are like teenagers to like college students. So honestly, yeah, don't be afraid. Your overall score and like what we base off, how we assign the class is based on your overall score. So it's on a scale of 1 to 3, with 1 being the best. This is not the only thing that goes into your like class selection, but we do use this. It's a bit of a heavy weightage when we choose the classes for you. But again, throughout your evaluation, don't worry about like, oh, am I going to get a 1? Am I going to get a 2? Just do whatever you can, do the best you can, and it'll follow you as it is. Right. And again, I'm getting a lot of chats, so I will go through it at the end of the Zoom session. So please do hold on. Hopefully I'll answer your question before the end. Right. So to teach, you have to complete your evaluation. So we ask that you do it 1 month after your sign up date. I know that we have a lot of college students here, so we understand that you have finals, or if you're doing this as a summer internship, you probably won't have any time right now because, again, final projects. So these are some of our like special cases that we have. And we ask that like you complete it by maybe mid-May to early June at the latest, because honestly, that's how you are guaranteed a class if you want to teach the entirety of the like the summer or even later. So yeah, if you are doing this as a summer internship, I would definitely recommend like mid to late May at the earliest, and like early June at the latest. All right. And if you do have any teaching experience, you can always send us a video. If you have a video, it'll definitely speed up your evaluation process. We'll watch it. We'll see like how you sort of conduct your classes. It's okay if you don't, but if you tell your evaluator that, they'll definitely make note of it and, make sure that the class management team finds out. Like I said earlier, you can be a TA before you get evaluated. I personally wouldn't recommend that, because if you really want to first get experience and then become a teacher, you should do your evaluation beforehand. But if you think that you won't perform well in your evaluation, that's up to you. You can attempt your evaluation like as many times as you'd like, but if you don't do too well the first time, we'll ask you to be a TA first, and then hopefully after you become a TA, we'll see some growth, and we'll ask you to do your evaluation again. All right, so you've done your evaluation. Now this is the section I call like legal mumbo jumbo, because it's honestly the most boring part of the whole teaching process, where you have to, fill out all the legal forms. So how many people here are like under 18? All right. So if you're under 18, you have to fill out the A300, which is something that the state of New Jersey requires for students. That is honestly the lengthiest form that we have. You have to like reach out to your principal, your school board, everything. It's honestly quite annoying. So once you're done with your evaluation, definitely get started with that immediately, because you'll also have to reach out to us to fill out a certain section, and then you have to run after for the other parts. So yes, please do that as soon as possible. And then for everyone else, we have the W4 and W9, I think. I have to double check. Again, this is all on the Start Here classroom, so you can double check also. But on that, it'll have all the forms you need to fill out. You'll be submitting all this through a Google form. So we'll ask you to upload like working forms. So just to make sure that you're good to work in the US. We do also pay outside of the United States. I'll go into that in a little bit. So yeah, we can have teachers from outside the country as well. But yeah, check that out. Step 5, Start Here classroom. All right. So once you pass your evaluation, we will reach out to you for a class to teach. You can also fill out the teacher availability form, or you can create the class on Thinkland yourself and say, okay, I want to teach a class at this time on this day, and you can set up how many ever classes you want to teach. I know we have I know of one person who's actually teaching 12 classes a week with us. So if your schedule permits that, if you're open to teaching that much, I mean, there's no harm, go ahead. But I will say this, like if you have no teaching experience, I don't recommend you do that, especially if you're not too comfortable teaching yet. I really don't recommend you do that. So yeah, just a little heads up. But again, you can create your own classroom. On the Start Here classroom, we actually have a step-by-step on how to create a class on Thinkland. So you can go through that. I will also say this, don't do this before you complete your evaluation, because we will think that you're an evaluated teacher and we'll try and set up a class with you, but it won't be too well. We won't be happy if we find out that you've not evaluated and you've tried to set up a class. So yeah, please don't do that. It'd be really appreciated, right? So here's the part that majority of the people here are probably really excited for, and that is payday. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. Just kidding. So the way we have our hourly rate or our payday is we base it off of your class size. So as you can see, if you have 7 to 8 students, you'll be getting $50 per hour. The way we do our payment is that the 19th of every month, you're going to get paid for the classes that were taught from the 16th of the previous month to the 15th of the current month. And you can only get this once you've submitted your legal forms. Again, like I said earlier, we can pay outside the US. Majority of our payment done in the US is through Zelle. I think there might be another form right now, but the one that I know of is Zelle. So if you don't have one, it's really easy to set up. You can just do it through your bank account. So yeah, definitely do set it up. I know that I think people under the age of 18 aren't allowed to have a Zelle account by law. So if you can work something out with your parents or your guardians, just have them, we can transfer the money to them and then you guys can work it out. All right, so that's about the payment. All right, so teaching requirements. So on the step 5 of the Start Here page, we have a list of teaching requirements that that will have a step-by-step of what you're made to do in a class. So the number one, or the two things that you should definitely do is attendance at the beginning of class, and at the end of every class, you have to write a class report for all of your students. So yeah, please do that. We use that to make sure that you were conducted the class, and also to make sure that the class went off without a hitch. Again, like I've been saying a lot, teachers can receive volunteering hours or pay. We also do offer a mix. So if you're open to that, we can do that as well. TAs, they only receive volunteering hours, and your main goal is, or like job is, to help out the teachers. I know that a lot of TAs, they aren't really happy with being a TA because they're just not doing much. So what I recommend that you do is you talk with your teacher about what you can do to help out around the class. I know that a couple of times, or like my TAs, what I ask them to do is I have them teach a project or a lesson, and then I'll teach the next one. So we like switch between each other, and basically it's their way of getting experience. And then also, that'll help them, like when they're teaching their own class, and then when they're doing their evaluation. So you'll really be helping out everyone by giving your TA some experience. You can also be helping, like, while your TA is giving a lesson, if you think that they're not going in the right direction, you can always guide them, or like to the right end goal. So, just like little tips here and there. But the number one thing that we ask that you do as a teacher or a TA is to show that you care, because students will respond correctly, or like in the right manner, if they see that you're putting in the effort, you're actually caring about their growth and their learning process. So yeah, please do that. It's really good to see the students learning, and the potential that they can reach when we actually put in effort. All right. Class change. So we understand that, emergencies come up, or you might have something like plans that come up. So we ask that you let us know, if you like, well in advance, if you do know, like, especially if it's like some plans or something. But if it's an emergency, you can just immediately message Mike. Mike is all of our bosses, we love Mike. So you can always message him on Discord and let him know that, like, you're gonna miss a class, or you need to reschedule a class. And for each course, there's a pacing guide. So yeah, definitely do, follow that if you can. But it's okay if you go a little bit fast or a little slow. Just follow what the class is feeling. If you think that the class needs more time on a specific topic, just do what you think is right for your class. All right.
Can I say something, Shreya?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something also important that I have actually been guilty of forgetting at times, or missing. It's a good idea, on each Zoom account that you have for your classes, you can set it so it'll automatically start recording the class, because that's also something we do. We record the classes more often than not, and it's an easy thing to miss. So that's also, I was just going to put that in there. Make sure at the beginning of all your classes, you also, along with checking the attendance and other things, that you also make sure that you're recording the session. It's important.
Yeah, absolutely. That is Andre, by the way, guys. He is a teacher with us. So yeah, some teaching logistics, right? Make sure you're in the Zoom at least 10 minutes before the class. I don't really follow that rule. I say like 5 to 4 minutes before class. But yeah, just make sure your whole account is working. You're able to share your screen, things like that. Again, in the beginning of every class, make sure you submit attendance. Like Andre was saying, you should record your class and then upload that to your Google Drive, and put the link to that file in your class report. We use that when we're writing like teacher evaluations a couple months after you start teaching. So yes, we do pick a random class of yours, and we just, see, like, we just ensure that there's not been any deterioration since you started teaching with us. We want you to either stay at that same level that you were at during your evaluation, or you've grown significantly. All right. again, submit class reports after the class. For each student, you'll be like, writing. Some of the areas are pretty general, like for all of them. You just need to change one section. So you'll be writing about what you did in class, like a class summary, some class content. I personally just put in the notes that we covered in for that class. And then finally, the student performance. So yeah, in the student performance, you're just writing like how the student performed, really self-explanatory. And at the end of each session, we ask that you write an evaluation and recommendation for each student so that, we're trying to keep our students with us. We want them to grow in each course, like excel in each course, really. So I'm going to show you guys some examples of class reports and evaluation examples. I believe one of them is done by Andre himself. So yeah, I'll be showing that to you guys. All right. Okay, no. So this is considered as a bad class report because there's not much detail, there's just some information, I guess, like it's very general, very basic. We prefer that you don't write it like this because, again, not very informative to anyone. Here, this is considered a really well-written class report. As you can see here that they've gone into depth with the class content, like notes. I believe this is a Python class report. So then they go into depth about what the students learned and then quick summary, and then also how the student performed in class. So, this is what you should aspire to have your class report looking like. But again, when you're first teaching with us, it's okay if it doesn't look like this at the first try. We'll help you figure it out as well, all right? So again, this is a really big class report. We don't ask that you write it like this, but as you can see, it is very big, very in-depth. Again, you don't have to write this because honestly, it's a lot. So I know the person who wrote this, he had like a whole Python program, generate the headers and everything for him. So while that is a genius idea, it is a lot of effort. So if you can just stick with something like this, that is more than enough for us. All right. So that is the class reports. Student evaluation. This is a bad student evaluation because it doesn't really go into depth about the student, how they're performing in the class. It's just pretty generic, pretty at the surface level. It doesn't go into depth of how the person was as a student. This is a pretty well-written evaluation. Again, class participation breaks down the student as a student, how they performed in the class. So participation, attention, homework completion, knowledge conclusion. This student was apparently a very good student. The student was not as good of a student, but it's okay. We have the evaluation so that we can also try and get that student to, become a better version of themselves. All right. This is Andre, I believe, his evaluation, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he'll write a quick overview of the class and then student conclusion. So all of you will have access to the student evaluations and the class reports. At the end of the session, I will be emailing the presentation and the class recording, or not class recording, my bad, the recording of the session. So if you ever want to refer back to it, definitely do that. All right. So that's teaching logistics. We're almost there. I think this is the fastest I've gone through this, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, so we've actually set up a checking your class platform ourselves. So you can check and find all of the classes that you have taught, you are currently teaching using this link. I'll just show you guys in a quick second how it works. In this section, you can find any information that you need. So if you want to know whether class is on for the week, you can just, check that out. If you want to check if you've done your attendance, let's say you don't know if you did, you can use that. And then if you also want to change your class or get any like email addresses, you can always use this. So I'll just quickly show you guys how it works. I don't know why it autofilled me. All right, so okay, so if I just quickly search up my name within the platform, right? If I just put in my name here, and then I will get all of the classes I have taught with AI Go Learning. So this goes back for a while now. But yeah, you can see if I wanted to check out my Python class that I'm currently teaching, I can see the class calendar. So I can see that, okay, I have class for the next couple of weeks until Memorial Day. I can see today's class status. Obviously it won't be there because my class isn't today. I can also change my class right here. So if I click, class change request link, it'll automatically autofill all of this. And then I just need to fill in like what I need to change about it. So like if I have a class date or like what's the situation, I just need to fill out all of this and then submit. Either Daniel or Mike will reach out to you about what we'll do now, like now that you have to reschedule the class. So that's how you actually change your class through the My Class website. I've said the word class too many times in the past 2 minutes, but it's okay. So yeah, definitely, check that out. You'll only see this though when you are teaching a class, so I wouldn't worry about it just yet. All right. Okay, moving on. Again, class change. I don't recommend, or we really don't recommend you skip or change a class because it's just not good for anyone. Like parents won't be happy, especially if you do it quite often because you're kind of messing with their schedule and then their students. And then we also won't like it because you told us that you were free at a certain time, but then you're not there. But again, emergencies happen. We understand that you're human, you might have some plans. So if you know it ahead of time, just let us know, submit the class change request through that website, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right. So now we're going to get into a couple of opportunities that we have for all of you. We have demo classes weekly every Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we will reach out to you once you've completed your evaluation if we think that you would be open, or if we think that you'd be a good fit for teaching demo classes. These demo classes are conducted just like how you conducted your evaluation, except this time you'll be teaching actual kids. So no actors there with you, it'll be actual kids. So again, don't be scared. They're just kids, but they can be scary, I will admit. And then you can, just do that. If you want to do a demo class, you can always reach out to us and we'll just put you on a list. But it's okay if you, we'll reach out to you, honestly. But yeah, okay, I'm blanking, my bad. All right, so then once you do your demo class, you will receive volunteering hours. And then if students do sign up after the class, you will get $20. And you might even be able to teach those students yourself. So, a little bit of fun stuff for all of you. But yeah, again, your demo class is just the evaluation topic. So you don't have to worry about having to create a project or having to learn something entirely new. All right. On the Start Here Classroom and also on our YouTube channel, you can find a training orientation video. Again, this is it's a quick summary of whatever I covered today, but it's not as fun as this. So if you want, you can watch it. I recommend you do though. All right. Another opportunity we have for everyone is our Teaching for Leadership, STEM for All is a chapter that we have at AI Go Learning, where we are, bringing teaching and all of our resources to the underprivileged and low income of the United States at the moment. I believe we're starting it now a couple of places across the globe, really. I know that in New Jersey, we have it in Trenton and Camden. So these are like considered while they are like pretty big cities in New Jersey, they also are home to a lot of the underprivileged and low income. So we have, library classes, all of this is for free. In your application, you were asked if you'd be willing to teach for STEM for All. So if we do have a STEM for All class open, we will reach out to you, especially if you said yes. For those of you who are underage and you're in high school or middle school, we can help you set up a club at your school. It's like the AI Go Learning Club. If you're interested in that, you can always reach out to me or one of my friends, Eddie or Mike. So yeah, definitely, if you're interested in that, go ahead. And then we also have local chapters. So I'm part of like the AI Go Learning like main chapter, I guess. But if if you're open to creating one in your state, province, or country, just let us know. We'll help you set that up. I believe right now we have AI Go Learning Vietnam, Switzerland, Texas, I think, and and India. Yeah. So you can always set up a branch within your state or province, though. If we already have one main one, you can always do it within that, like a sub chapter if you'd like. All right. But yeah, only if you're open and you're willing to do that, definitely do check it out. All right. So AI Go Learning is a President's Volunteer Service Award. Like we can give those, we're certified to give those out. These are the hours required for each age group. So it seems like a lot, but honestly, you'll make these, you'll earn these hours so quickly, it'll shock you. We ask that you sometimes like fill out the form that we have for the Volunteer Service Award, like every month so that we can keep track of the hours. Yeah, you can find out more information for this on the presidentialserviceawards.gov. It's real. I have had people wonder if we give out fake ones. It's real. So yeah, don't worry about that. All right. So if you want to learn more about us or our team, like the main team, you can definitely check out this website. If you'd like to join our team, like what I'm doing right now, again, feel free to join us. Andre works on curriculum development. He actually worked on our Arduino and Pie game, I believe. So I think towards the end, I'll ask him to speak a little bit about the Arduino and Pie game courses that we offer. I'll just show you guys, I guess, our team real quick. You can read about us also on your own time and a little bit of my cringy bio, but that's okay. So yeah, we started on like Discord actually in August and October of 2020. We met for the first time in August of 2021 for a picnic. And then this is our leadership team. So you can learn all about us. These are our past members as well. So yeah, definitely do check us out. And then towards the end, we have our various branches that are internationally there. I forgot about Canada. I'm really sorry about if anybody here is from Canada. But yeah, definitely check that out on your own time. I really want to make sure you guys don't get bored here. All right. So I'm going to do a really shameless plug, but I have to do it. So follow our social media, this is our Instagram, our Facebook, and LinkedIn. On these platforms, we post like tips and stories about our teachers ourselves, any tips we have for teaching with us. And then also, if like we have any opportunities or any like hackathon coming up, we'll just post on it there so that you guys are aware, you inform your students, things like that. But yeah, definitely do follow us on our platforms. All right. All right. So just to quickly summarize everything that I just covered in the past 45 minutes. You all did the application form, so go you did it. Join the Discord server. I don't know if all of you have done that, and I might cry if you haven't. But on the Thinkland platform, it has all of the information about the Discord service you should join. I'm going to show you the Discord server right now because I'm going to ask that you please join it. I manage it and I really love to have all of you there. All right, so this is the Discord server that you all should be joining. You'll meet so many people and so many teachers through this. It's kind of insane. They've had has all of our teachers that we've ever had. So you can see that there's 55 people online right now. But if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see that we've had 619 teachers with us. So yeah, just do that, please, great resource. And I think some people might be joining right now on the Discord server. So I won't shame you for doing that right now, but it's okay, good job for joining. At the top, you'll see like the training instructors. You can always click on any of our accounts, read a little bit about us if we have it. I won't click on mine because it's kind of bad. So that is our little thing over there. Again, yeah, join the Discord server. Then on the Thinkland platform, join the training classroom and go through the material, go through all of that information, and then you can sign up for your evaluation through an evaluation Discord server. I forgot to show you all that. I have to switch back to my Discord. All right, evaluation Discord. Okay, so this is the evaluation Discord. You will be signing up for it through this. So there's a channel called schedule evaluation. If you just click schedule evaluation here, you'll get a message like I just did. You can just set it up and then, select a course. I won't do it because all the evaluators will get a message that I want to set up an evaluation and I don't. All right. So in this server, you'll be guided step by step on how to do it. So I won't go into depth on how to set up your evaluation. All right. Also, this is Mike. If you ever want to message him or if you have any questions, he's a really good resource. Yes, please do feel free to message him. He's really friendly, really nice. So don't be scared. He's also your boss, but don't be scared. It's okay. All right. Yeah, I will say this again, Discord is our main form of communication. I don't like emails, but if you want to send me an email, go ahead. All right, so let's get to the questions all of you sent me through the form. So if you're out of state, it does not matter because we can pay all across the United States and also outside of the country, but the forms that we ask you to fill out is still required. So yeah, especially if you're underage. So yeah, you still need to do that. How many hours? Okay, so again, the number of hours you spend teaching with us really just depends on your availability and how much you're open to teaching. So it's really up to you. I can't, there's no certain number of hours you have to spend with us. What languages, again, whatever you're comfortable teaching, whatever you have experience teaching or learning, go ahead and evaluate and train for those courses. Do you earn pay during training? No, you do not. So the faster you complete your training, the faster you can teach and actually earn money. So no, you do not earn money while training. How to teach? Okay, yeah, we do not have English classes. So if you know other languages though, we can set up classes for you to teach in that region. So I know that for our AI Go Learning India, we have, people who can speak various Indian languages like Hindi, Telugu, all of that. We have classes set up and you can just follow with that. We can, if you're interested and more keen on speaking Indian languages, definitely do that and let us know. What do you see a great code teacher doing a year from now? I honestly see you guys still, teaching with us, hopefully. You're gaining experience teaching, which in itself is pretty great. So hopefully you'll still be with us if you're extremely great. you'll have a lot of classes. Parents will know you by your name and want to have your class only. We do have a teacher with us who's like the parents only want, like some parents would love to have his class only. So if you become a name among the masses, that'll be great. So that's what I would personally see a great code teacher doing from a year from now, but we'll see. A year is a while. How do I become a teacher assistant? Again, in the application form, I'm pretty sure you were asked, but it's okay if you ever want to become a teacher assistant while you're with us, you can just let us know and we'll set it up and like make note of it. To become a teacher assistant, you don't have to do your evaluation, but I highly recommend that you do. Over what time period are we supposed to teach? I mean, we have different sessions that are based on the seasons. So summer sessions, there tend to be more classes and they happen more frequently within the week. So last summer, I was teaching, I think, 4 classes a week that were 1.5 hours each. So that's like the time period. I guess like time period, I'm not too sure what you may mean by time period, but yeah, again, however many hours you are comfortable teaching with, go ahead. At what time of the day / week do we teach? Again, your availability. So if you're comfortable teaching at 1 a.m. for kids in India, go ahead. I personally do not have experience with that just yet, but I'm pretty sure it'd be fine and fun. But yeah, so if you're open to teaching internationally, again, go ahead. We also do teach, like I've had students, I believe in California, and I'd be teaching on the Eastern Coast or East Coast. So, the time gap is there, but it's not too bad, honestly. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, so if you have any questions, oh wait, I'll ask Andre to speak in a little bit about the Arduino and Pi game. But if you have any questions, you can always email me. You can always use the email address I reached out to all of you with. I'll be honest, I really don't like emails, but it's okay. I will respond it just for you all guys. Okay, I swear. You can always reach out to me on Discord though, like I'm pretty active on that. So yeah, if you ever have any questions, just reach out to me on that. Yeah. All right. So Andre, if you want to talk about Pi Game, you can go ahead. Yeah. Right. Oh. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So I'm ready now.
Okay.
Just sending in a message. I guess I could have just spoken actually. So as far as the Discord server goes, there's another teacher who has set up a more automatic means by which we do evaluations, because evaluations turned out to be kind of a hassle. Finding somebody who had the right time, to evaluate somebody. We're all, living in different parts of the country, different parts of the world even. And so, finding somebody who has their, has an open time in their schedule, the same time as, a teacher now who wants an evaluation. And so we have an automatic system for doing that. And that once again is also done through the Discord server. So I almost forgot about that. So that is another reason why it is somewhat imperative that you join the Discord server. If you're not familiar with Discord, it might take a minute or two, a little bit of time to get used to it, but it isn't anything terribly complex. And once you're a part of the server, you will not only be able to communicate with individual teachers, but you can communicate with all of the teachers in Python. You can communicate with all the teachers in Scratch, all the teachers in Java, or such and such. And so you can it's a much more effective way that we can all communicate with each other on the team. So that's another reason why it's a good idea to join the Discord server. Let me share my screen here, and I'm just going to begin by showing you guys a little bit about the PY Game course. We're going to start with that. Now, this is just, one slideshow I have for this. The PY Game course, Pi Game also, some people say Pi Game, some people say PY Game. We could debate all day long on which one's right, whichever one you like. Essentially, it's the Python game engine. It is a simple 2D game engine that we can use with Python. It's essentially more than a game engine. It's more of like a graphical engine. It allows us to do animations and moving pictures around and other things, and to set up displays, and so it does allow us to create 2D games and even 3D games if you really get advanced. But in our course we just focus on the 2 dimensions. But it's fairly easy to use as far as game engines go, and it's actually a lot of fun. So the course, somebody asked about like time frames. This course and our courses here, they go for generally it's somewhere around like 3 months during the school year. During the summers we have like the 2-week courses where we meet like every single day and you teach a class for like maybe up to 3 hours. But then as Shreya was saying, then otherwise the classes meet once a week and they'll go for 16 weeks or so. And so this is one of those courses, and in that time each week we go over a little bit more of how we can work with the library. In the first week we just start out with opening up a window and drawing some basic shapes, and then once we do that, then we learn about how we can actually move those shapes around the screen. And once we get the shapes moving around, then we start to get a little bit more advanced. We begin to learn about how we can do things like key controls. And the first game we make is just like a simple Pong game, actually. So I'll change slides here. As I said, PY Game is a game engine. If you guys don't know what a game engine is, it's not as complex as it might sound. It's basically just a whole bunch of functions that we can use to like do things like throwing up a window, drawing a circle, or drawing a square, moving a circle or a square, things like this. Just things that allow us to draw graphics to the screen and to then use Python and use code to to then animate those graphics and to control them with key controls and other things like that. I'll show you guys some other projects maybe if you're interested, if anybody is curious about things that we can actually do with PY Game. There's a lot of documentation on PY Game. That's another cool thing. That's why we use this for the course, just because it's a really well documented library. There's tons of information, tons of materials out there. I've got lots of examples and lots of things we can do. I've got a whole folder right here full of examples and games and other things that you guys can make in the course. But as I said, we scaffold because there is a level of complexity that goes along with creating graphics. But when you break it down and you start with the simple stuff and you just work up slowly, it always works out a lot better. So the way that I've structured the course is that we start out with kind of the like drawing and animations unit, where we're focusing on like, again, as I said, setting up the window, placing shapes on the screen, moving shapes around. We make a Pong game, and other things like that. We look at how to display images on the screen. And then once we get through that, then we start to get a little bit more technical, and we start to actually look at the collisions, and then we take another look back at our Pong game and then some other things with it, and we start to take a look at how we can actually detecting objects moving and colliding on the screen. And my dog here Sarah, let me get down. Anyways, there may be more information that's necessary at this point. point is, you guys can see the idea. We start out with the simple, we work up slowly, we then show how we can actually add some details like, sound effects and music and other things. And then once we have the basic building blocks, then we actually want to just get in and start having fun. And so then the last part of the course is really just actually building some projects, building some little games. So it's a good idea to start in the course with some Python review. So that's generally what we start out with, and we go through all the general stuff. I try and keep it simple in this first course. Although a lot of the students in this course, by this time, they've gone through like the object-oriented programming, so they actually have some kind of understanding of like class architecture. But we generally try and keep it simple still. So we focus more on just using like basic Python, like writing simple loops and like maybe using a few functions. But like really keeping things simple, that's the goal in this first level of the course, and to just focus on the basic use of the Pygame engine. And so, as I said, we learn to move objects around and display images. We go through the process of how we can actually make animations, where we look at what's called a sprite sheet, and we actually look at how we can take a single image and then break it down and then display the different animations. And that's a fun process. I actually was just going through that process with a class just the other day. So there's all kinds of examples on how we can do all that. This is maybe a slide I need to edit. But yeah, so you guys can get the idea, as far as the collisions unit, I think that, as Shreya said, in these courses, we go based on what the students are feeling. Some of these students, I'm not kidding, they're going to be like pushing you. They're going to be like, how do I make Minecraft with this? How do I make this? How do I do that? And it's going to be a little intimidating. And so for some of those students, you have to remind them that, we only have so much time in our course, but certainly, there is a little bit of math that we can do in the course that can be fun for some of those students that are interested in some of that more technical stuff. And so again, we've got examples on how we can do that, and I've got some slides in here talking about how we can actually implement physics into some simple code, to make things more realistic, make things a little higher quality. And again, we talk about the details of the game, adding music and text and sounds and other things. And then, as I said, finally, we get to the end of the course where we then talk about how we can actually build games. And so that's like the Pygame level 1 course. There is a second level to the Pygame course where what we get into is, now that we actually have an understanding of Pygame, we start to talk about more advanced things, where we talk about like how we can do shaders, how we can do particle effects, how we can implement AI, how we can implement more advanced physics. But more than anything, the second level of the course is all about giving the reins to the students, so then they can start to come up with their game ideas, and they can now start to actually build things, and you can assist them. So that's the Pygame course. Tons of fun. So if you guys are not familiar with game development, Pygame is a super awesome place to start. Like I said, I've got tons of examples in here. So, I mean, this could be a really, really awesome learning opportunity for you guys if you're interested in learning about game development. So anybody who's interested in this course can definitely talk to me, and I'm happy to provide all the resources you would need. And as I said, there are actually 2 levels of that course. So we're hoping to get more teachers involved so we can get more and more classes going, is the idea. Now I'm going to jump over to the Arduino curriculum here, and we're just going to briefly talk about this one. So the Arduino may be, a little more technical here, but if you guys are unfamiliar about what an Arduino is, I guess I'm just going to jump over to the first presentation. So Arduino is what an Arduino is well, I actually have one right here in front of me. This is an Arduino. This is called a microcontroller. You can see it is about the size of my hand. We wouldn't necessarily call this a computer, but what it is a microprocessor. So it is a single processor that allows us to upload programs and actually run programs and control electronics. And we can even plug in electronics directly. You know, like I can take lights and other things and motors and plug them right into here. You know, I've got this little robot behind me that I made. We got a lot of programming to do on this thing, but you know, you can see I've got an arm so it can pick itself back up, and I've got legs so it can walk, and you know, it's got a bunch of sensors in there so I can, you know, I'm working on helping it to find its way around, but it's got a lot of work to go. But this is what Arduino is Arduino is again, like almost like a little computer that we can use to write programs and then control electronics that we build. And so this is an introductory course to working with the Arduinos, where we actually go into using C++ to program Arduinos, and we actually we start out with basic stuff. We go into you know, we use a simulated software. We use a simulated software that let me jump over here. Yeah, this Tinkercad. I was introduced to this stuff actually through Shreya and the team that was originally working on the Arduino course, and I have fallen in love with this software. This is a really cool software. Tinkercad is a simulated software that allows us to do, well, more than just Arduino. It actually allows you to do all kinds of 3D designs and other things, and build code into it. But what Tinkercad allows us to do in this course is it allows us to actually simulate simple circuits. So we can grab all of our various components and we can build the circuit, wire it together. We can even run the circuit and actually simulate it running. And you know, you can see we got a warning here because we were giving this LED too much power. And so it's a really cool software that we can use there. And so we use this software to again teach the basics of working with the Arduino. And then as we get more comfortable working through the software, then we actually pull out what's called a breadboard and we start building circuits on our breadboards. And so that's what that class is all about. It's tons of fun as well, though it takes a little bit more of you know, experience in, you know, in electronics and other things like that. So if anybody has experience with electricity or anything else like that, it may be something that you're interested in, and that again is something you can talk to me about. If it is something that you're interested in teaching in the future, of course, that's, you know, again, something that requires a little more experience. And but I'm happy to provide anybody with resources if they're interested in learning about Arduino. It's something I'm really passionate about. I'm not the world's greatest expert on it, but I've, you know, spent enough time on it now that I can throw together the course and I can certainly provide an introductory lesson. So, you know, again, anybody who's interested can let me know. That again is the Arduino course. We also have 2 levels to that. In the second level, once we learn about programming the Arduinos and the basics of it, we start to actually pull out sensors and motors, and we learn how to control those and write a little more complex programs, build a little bit more complex circuits. So tons of fun. And again, that's available. We need teachers for it. So anybody who's interested, I really would appreciate if you send me a message. I guess that's all I've got, though. If anybody has any questions at this point, we're ready. I'm available.
All right, I guess we'll take that as no questions then. Thank you so much, Andre, for talking about Pong Game and Arduino. All right, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Andre, me, or any of the people you see in the Discord server. And yeah, thank you so much for coming today. All right, I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.